Hi everyone, let's talk about Tobago, and its brand new expansion, Volcano. After 10 years, a kind of an underrated, maybe under the radar game, suddenly gets brought back in style with a really, really fancy Volcano. So let's just talk about the base game to begin with. I love the idea of Tobago. It's kind of, I don't know how you would describe it, reverse deduction, but deduction where we're kind of defining the rules of it. We're defining where the hidden thing is in our cards, and it's full of interaction between other people all vying for that particular treasure, trying to have it raised by them, maybe just trying to have it so that they'll get a decent stake when the treasure is raised, because the more clue cards you play, or if you're the person that went and found the treasure once there's only one possible place it can be, you get an extra stake in it. But even then, after you've defined all of your stakes, you've all got a bit of information as to what treasure is there and how long can you hold out for, how much can you risk on waiting for that better thing. You've seen there's a 6 in there and it hasn't come out yet. Can you hope that everyone's going to say no to all of these other things and you're going to get a taste of something better? Or are you just, as the person last in line, are you just going to have to accept a lower value thing because there's only one more clue card than the number of stakes that people have in there? And so how long can you hold out in there? And added to that mix is the risk of the curses in there, that at any time the treasure could just end. Past, I think the first 12 cards are safe, so your first couple of treasures or so, you're okay. You don't have to worry about that. You can just get into the finding of the coins. But as soon as those curses can be a possibility, it can get really tense, and especially if you know that there is a curse in there, because you don't want to give away that there's a curse in there. You want to try and make sure everyone is playing normally, while you yourself, you might end up making it obvious because, as I mentioned in the playthrough, if you know there is a curse in there, you kind of want to get out as soon as you can, because if you haven't got any roses left when the curse gets found, that's fine, you're just out of it and you can just watch all of the carnage unfold. But if you still have a stake in it, if you got greedy and waited too long, then you could potentially be losing a load of treasure or an amulet. And the amulets are very powerful things if you can just get them along the way. If the statues happen to be placed, it's all random at the start. They just have to be a certain space apart, and the statues can't be next to the ocean. But if you've got, you can end up with a decent stack of amulets, and they can give you loads of extra turns, or just be able to discard cubes from the board as well. If there are just 2 places where something could be, you could just spend an amulet to make it the one right next to you, or to have an extra move so you could suddenly be able to get twice as far across this great big map. And so the Volcano expansion, it adds, I think, I'll say for the whole game, that I never kind of thought about the play count very much when I'd only ever played it at 2 players. But I think, was it last year? During brief windows when we could, we played a big 4-player game of it. I think it must have been not too long ago. That doesn't matter though. We played a 4-player game of it, and I feel like, after seeing that, I feel like the 2-player is missing a bit of something now. It still works, absolutely. It's still a fun game, but I think just having 4 ATVs roaming around, more people that could be getting these treasures for you. You can't just leave these things lying about. More interplay between a load of different colours, a load of different stakes in all of these treasures, and you don't quite know what the other people have seen and what they know. That is still present in the 2-player game. I just feel like it works so much better with 4 players. Who knows at 3? I haven't played it at that. And so that kind of leads into Volcano. We've only played it at 2 players because, things are shut down again. But yeah, I'll say that I don't feel like Volcano added very much to it for us, but that is because I think that we were playing it at 2 players. And so much of the game, like the amulets, if you just end up with a game where the amulets just keep getting put further away and you kind of want to define the treasure to be close to you, or maybe there are people that want to try and put it far away so they can go and get a load of amulets and stuff. We tend to just we're usually in separate sections, and we want to try and define treasure to be right by us, or if you can just about get to a treasure and get it from before the other person can get to it, you will do that. There ends up being a big part of the island at 2 players just in general that we don't really go to that much, and if the amulets happen to accumulate there, we won't get very much. And in the Volcano expansion, that's how the lava starts appearing, when these amulets start to get taken. And so if not many of them get taken, not much lava gets put out. It would be nice if more lava just got put out just as it is. Like, I know in a 4-player game, there might be loads being put out, but maybe, say, for a 2-player game, every time treasure gets raised, lava starts to come out from around the volcano and stuff. There's loads of variables. I don't know if that even works. I'm not a game designer. It just feels like the lava never really had that much impact. And as well as the player count, I think maybe you want a bit of a meaner streak about you. Like me and Rach, pretty ultra peaceful players, never going to do things to completely mess each other up or destroy each other's treasure. That's a possibility in Volcano now. You could never play a clue in original Tobago that would stop a treasure existing on the map. But you can place lava in a place where the last treasure cube is, and, you know, everyone just gets, like, everyone gets nothing from it. The cards get discarded, you can define a new treasure there, and that's just it. So especially if, say, it's a 4-player game, and everyone's got a stake in this great big treasure that's about to be raised, and you could just go and, it's another thing that you might want to spend your entire turn just getting an amulet, because you could use the lava you're putting down from grabbing that amulet to destroy that treasure that you're not a part of. That kind of thing. It does add another dimension to it. And the clues are a nice little extra as well, that's you can't end up with a completely useless hand of cards you can't play to these clues, because you could always play a clue you're not allowed to play to be able to put some of these volcano clues that concern either the volcano or the lava. A nice little extra thing, and you've got a big obstacle in the way in the volcano itself, which is a very, very beautiful piece. I don't know what it's made of, but yeah, it's a very nice volcano. Yeah, it's nicely produced, like the base game was, with all of its statues and palm trees and stuff. I just feel like, for us, I don't know if it adds much, and kind of spoiling ourselves playing a 4-player game, I think. I'm wondering that maybe Tobago will best be saved for player counts like that. But hey, maybe I'm talking rubbish. I'm just looking nostalgically back at a time when we played with people. But hey, who knows? The playthrough is there for you to get an idea of what Volcano adds, of what Tobago is like. And there are over 400 others on the channel as well if you would like to check out some other games. Thanks for watching this one though, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye everyone.